Well, I'm going to the Rams game in London, but what kind of stadium food are they going to have there? Is it going to be like crumpets and shepherd pie with warm beer? Coming to you pre-tape from the Best Coast Show studios, this is the Best Coast Show. I'm your host, Albert Aguilera. That's my producer, Curtis Sage. And Curtis, did I ever tell you you're my hero?
Oh, nice. You're going to sing that right now?
You are everything I could be.
He is going to sing that.
I don't think those were the actual lyrics.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to...
Are you starting to tear up a little?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to drop a single this season.
On iTunes?
On iTunes.
It won't be Wind Beneath My Wings because Vin Scully just dropped that single.
He did.
On iTunes.
Did you know that I am the wind beneath his wings?
Well, we all are.
He said that I was.
Oh, he said you personally?
Not me. He didn't call me by name, but...
He just said you are the wing, and you felt that was you.
He was talking to me.
You felt that was you.
Correct.
Okay, good. Well, Dodger fans, we have a new episode today. It's going to be a Dodgers-Rams episode. Let's talk Dodgers first. Dodgers are 90-67. We are 2 games back of the Nationals for the best record for the divisional series, which we kind of want to get if we can. We want those first 2 games in Los Angeles. So we're going to talk a little playoffs. We're going to talk a little bit of Vin's last weekend at Dodger Stadium, which was pretty incredible. We're also going to talk Rams, which are, 2-1, and we're first place.
Hashtag ram it.
Ram it. And we're going to talk about that. I didn't know we could get jumbo jacks for touchdowns. This is awesome. I don't really eat jumbo jacks, but
still.
My kids will. And then Case Keenum we'll talk a little bit about him. Todd Gurley is now an official L.A.
He's a Los Angelino. He lives in traffic.
He lives in traffic on the field and off.
Yep.
And then we have to have our random Ram. But this week we're going to have a twist on the random Ram. All right, Albert, let's get started.
All right, guys. So the Dodgers are 2 game backs of the Nationals for home field advantage in the divisional series. I really don't think it matters considering the playoffs start in 4 days and the Nationals have half of their starting lineup depleted. The Dodgers do not play as well on the road as they do at home. I think we're 4 games under 500 on the road.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, as long as our pitching staff is healthy, which they're not, our top 3 guys can just go out there. As I said last week, I think that we're going to beat the Nationals and then steamroll the Cubs and then steamroll the Red Sox in the World Series.
This is your bold prediction?
You know what? That's not even going to be a bold prediction because it's just a regular prediction. That's not too bold of a statement.
No, it's not too bold.
because we are going to play the Nationals in the opening round, right? Do you think we're going to play the Cubs in the NLCS?
Yes.
And do you think that we're going to play the Red Sox in the World Series?
Well, the Red Sox or the Rangers.
The Rangers?
Yeah.
No,
I don't like the Rangers.
We would beat the Rangers in devastating fashion because it would get to a Game 7 and we'd go 14 innings and then just beat them because that's how they like to lose World Series.
Yes. Red Sox, Dodgers.
That would be after they blow a 3-1 series lead on us.
That sounds like a prediction to me. Playoffs will be. We want home field advantage though with the first 2 games in Los Angeles because it's a tight window series here because we'd have Friday and Saturday in LA if I am correct on this if we got home field and then Sunday's a travel day and then Monday night would be in
divisional
DC.
series is best out of 5.
Best out of 5, so it's a short, and that travel is a short turnaround. We'd rather have the Nationals come to LA than us have to, start in New York. But I mean,
where
do
the National? I mean, we finish our season in San Francisco on the West Coast Pacific Standard Time.
Yes.
Where do the Nationals finish their regular season?
I don't know if they're against the Marlins.
Okay, so they're on East Coast time too. So either way, whoever travels is going to be fucked by the time zone difference.
Yeah, and it'd be better if they were first
because it makes them more tired.
It makes them
for us. The days would be sooner.
Maybe.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, because we'd go out there. And we would still be 3 hours back on our body frame. They wouldn't. They would come over here and be 3 hours ahead, and they'd be like, why the hell the game's starting so late? And then National fans would be like, why the hell are these games starting so late?
I like that part.
But they won't. You know why? Because MLB is like, oh, hey,
5 o'clock, 5
let's
p.m.
make it a fucking 1 o'clock game in Los Angeles on a Tuesday and then criticize Dodger fans for not being at the stadium. That's what fucking they do every year.
No, last year.
And then they do that on the message board too. Oh, look at Dodger Stadium; it's half empty for a playoff game.
Well, by the way, again, Dodger Stadium was the most filled stadium.
Yeah, for like the 6th straight year.
Baseball.
You know what year was the only year since the year 2000 that the Dodgers have not led in attendance?
What was that?
And the only reason we didn't is because of a national tragedy.
Oh yeah.
2001. The Yankees had higher attendance than the Dodgers. Dodgers came in at number 2. But every year since the year 2000, the Dodgers have led the league in attendance. So go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Not you. I'm talking to the haters.
And that's the thing is people make a big deal about, Dodger fans getting there late. The people have no idea the level of traffic in Los Angeles.
No, they don't.
And we'd love to be there at batting practice at 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to, but I have to leave my house at 3.
But we have real jobs.
Yeah.
We have real jobs. And it also takes us like 2 hours to get to the stadium because of the traffic. And you know who causes traffic? Fucking out-of-state people.
And players that are new to the team, like Josh Reddick, who got lost half the time
Right.
he came to this. Anyway, so playoffs are. I'm excited.
Wait. One more.
What?
Dodger Stadium is also the largest baseball stadium in North America that seats over 56,000 people. No other stadium does that. So when people in San Francisco and Fenway and every other shithole stadium are like, well, we sell out every game. Oh, really? You only sit 36,000. You seat 38,000. Yeah. Our average is higher than your sellouts. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly. They could make a case for the Red Sox could say, well, if we held 48,000, we'd sell out 48,000.
I don't think so.
You don't?
I don't think so.
I do.
Especially not on a Sunday when the Patriots are playing.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we've got the playoffs starting. Our rotation's looking pretty set. We'll have Kershaw,
Hill, and who's pitching Game 3?
Maeda. Yeah. I think Jose De Leon is going to be a real kind of good thing out of the bullpen for us.
Alex Wood's coming out of the bullpen,
and I think Alex Wood. I think Urias.
Do you think our bullpen? Do you think our bullpen is going to be all of our starting pitchers that are now healthy? Because McCarthy's back, Brett Anderson's back, Alex Wood is back. They're not going to start. They will not start playoff games.
I don't think McCarthy looked good in his last start. He actually looked really good. And he'll make the roster, but he will not start. He'll come out of the pen. I don't think he's going to start a game. Maybe he will, but maybe he starts
to like
game
4. 6 or something.
Yeah,
game 5,
maybe
game
he
6.
goes. Maybe he goes game 4, or maybe we do 2. We do the whole thing with pitch 3 innings, pitch 3 innings.
Right. I mean, let's say you go 5 games with the Nationals. You're going to go Kershaw, Hill, Maeda, Kershaw, Hill.
Yeah,
you're not going to let McCarthy or Brett Anderson pitch. I don't think they'll let Julio get a start in there.
I don't think so either. Anderson is not pitching in a playoff game, maybe even at all. I don't think he's pitching. So, and then we've got Kazmir, who, again, Friday night when I was at the game.
I completely forgot about him because he just comes and goes.
Well, he just got hurt again. He had some sort of pain in his rib or whatever. It lasted 1 inning.
It would be
Friday night.
so great to play for the Dodgers because let me rephrase that: get signed by the Dodgers because you're getting a boatload of cash to just sit around. Because these guys are just not playing, and they're just like, "Hey, look at me."
Listen,
you know who's got? No, wait.
All of them want to play.
Do you know who's got it the best right now?
Who?
Tom Brady. Did you see him this week? Tom Brady's out in some island like off the coast of Italy with Giselle, and it's like he's suspended for the first 4 weeks, and he's just chilling, fucking living it up.
That could be every day for Tom Brady next year.
Yeah, but it's during season.
Yes, it's during season. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. It'd be better if it was like in December when it's freezing cold at Foxborough. Is it still called Foxborough? It's called Gillette, right? Gillette Stadium when it's freezing cold.
Our social media coordinator Dave is a Patriots fan.
He's a Patriots
fan. He has
fan.
a little statue of Tom Brady in his bedroom, and it's Tom Brady doing the tuck rule as Charles Woodson's like attempting to strip him. That's what that statue is.
He did
strip him. That was a fumble. That was a fumble.
Was a
fumble. That was a fumble.
Not according to the rule.
All right. Anyways, let's continue talking about the Dodgers.
Let's talk a little bit about this final season or final series for Vin. Everybody's been talking about it, but it was pretty incredible. Starting with Friday night, I was there on the Friday night on the final homestand.
And you got the little pamphlet, right? The little book.
No, it's not a book. I got a letter that Vin penned to every fan.
To you.
And I felt like it was to me personally. I started getting choked up then, right when I walked in the stadium and got that letter handed to me and then took it out and read it. I was like, oh, gosh.
Now, your kids are what, 10 and 15?
No, they're 16 and 13.
16 and 13. Now, it didn't mean to them what it meant to you. Because your kids are like, oh, hey, Vin Scully, that's cool, Dad. But
they're not as emotional, but they were emotional. I mean, they've now, my daughter
did
who's
they
16,
understand the significance of what they were experiencing?
Yes. Well,
will they be telling their grandkids about that?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think both my kids are big baseball fans, obviously. They're big Vin Scully fans.
Or are they only because of you?
No, they are.
Okay,
they are. They love going to games. My daughter, who's 16, she went to the game. She's like, I need to go for Vin's final homestand. So it was pretty cool. And that ceremony was incredible. I mean, it was absolutely – I've never seen Dodger Stadium. I was telling a lot of people this. for an hour, there was a lot of emotions. People were just all out bawling in the stadium. I mean, they would show
was it during Kevin Costner's speech?
Kevin Costner's
Were you crying during Kevin Costner's speech?
I might have teared up a tad.
I noticed that your social media went dead.
Just thinking about it, no, I couldn't even post anything. I was so...
You're like an emotional wreck?
I had my daughter like doing her phone.
You were that fat girl on a Saturday night sitting in her sweatpants eating just ice cream out of a tub?
I should have probably been at home for this and not been out in public, but that would have been
But it's okay, you were all crying.
Yeah, everybody in the stadium felt the same way. And Costner's thing, I mean, first of all, there was this wave of emotions because they announced, the mayor was great. He gave the key to the city to Vin. Then you get to, the commissioner, you get to the Dodgers owner. Then you get to Sandy Koufax, and the place went bananas for 2 minutes. I mean, it was a standing ovation, super loud. Then you get, and his talk was awesome. It was very personal, just how he's friends with Vin. It was really great. And, it's a living legend here. It's one of the greatest pitchers ever. And then you follow him up with Kershaw, which Kershaw, by the way, is not a great public speaker yet. He's still young. I don't think he knows how to command a crowd. So he was pretty quick in and out of there. But he got a huge ovation. It was obviously, it's Kershaw. And it was cool to see those two sitting next to each other. I got emotional just seeing that.
Was that like a pseudo passing of the torch, you think?
I think the passing of the torch has kind of already happened. But to see them both sitting next to each other and kind of like whispering back and forth, I was like, this is amazing. I mean, what
kind of secrets are they spilling right there?
Yeah, and I'll probably never see that again in my life. And then when it gets to Kevin Costner, no one knew what to expect. No one knew what he was going to do.
I was wondering why the hell he was there. I was like, you know what? I go to plenty Dodger games, and when I'm not going to them, I work on Dodger games. So I'm very familiar with all the celebrities that are there. I don't believe I've ever seen Kevin Costner.
Well, he's a great baseball fan. I mean, he's a huge fan.
Right. So for me, I was thinking, okay, Bryan Cranston, maybe. Yeah. I was thinking Tom Hanks, maybe. What's his face? Larry King. Yeah. These are celebrities that I regularly see. Will Ferrell that I regularly see at Dodger games. But I was
Mary Hart.
What was Kevin Costner doing there?
Okay, but what they did with those people is they put them on the board
in between innings.
In between innings, they put those guys all on the board. Kirk Gibson. Oh, by the way, Kirk Gibson was via video, and it was incredible. He relived the home run, the call, and he relived like kind of coming out of the like being in the trainer's room, hearing Vin say, "Well, Gibson's not going to be playing tonight," and he was like, "F that, I'm playing." And so
wait, did they re-video the whole thing only with modern day Kirk Gibson?
They had Kirk Gibson telling the story.
They reenacted it?
No, they didn't reenact it.
Oh, they should have reenacted it. That would have been and had Dennis Eckersley out there.
That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. So they didn't reenact it, but he went through telling the story, and that happened during the ceremony. And then when it got to Costner, I mean, you could hear a pin drop in Dodger Stadium. Literally, a dude in the left field pavilion was, at one point, it was so quiet and just a beautiful talk that he was giving. He wasn't talking loudly.
And some idiot in the stand shouted.
No, it was great. He was just like, "We love you, Vin," and you could hear it like it was like right next to you.
Yeah, some idiot had to ruin it. Like, I hate the assholes. Like, I'm not a big fan.
But it only happened once.
I'm not a big fan of how we have to do national anthem before every sporting event ever.
Yeah.
But there's always that one asshole who has to shout while it's happening, or during the moment of silence, some asshole has to shout. Yeah. Or if you go to the Kings games and they start doing the Canadian national anthem,
that's rude.
That's rude.
Yeah. This wasn't rude.
Not that they do the Canadian national anthem, that they start yelling over each other's anthems. That's rude.
Yeah, that's rude. This wasn't rude. This was this guy. I think it was just an emotional pour out.
No.
Yeah, it was.
No.
I don't think he was trying to
He's that guy that you grew up with in class that would always just shout something, and it was funny the first time, then he tries to shout it again. It's like, okay, you were funny the first time, just stop.
People did laugh, though. People laughed a little bit, and Vin did kind of turn around and smile. It was pretty cool.
He was being polite.
But Costner's speech, I don't know if you've seen, most of you fans have probably seen it. It was incredible. And people were, literally, there was a guy, they showed a guy above the Dodger dugout. He had his hands in his head like this, like bawling, like a tears streaming down his eye. I was just kind of welling up a little bit, maybe a little bit more.
You had to be manly because your kids were there.
No,
they can't see their dad cry. They can't see their dad cry.
They're fine. They see me cry. But, I had to kind of like, wipe my eyes a little bit. This guy was literally just tears
There was just
down.
ninjas cutting onions everywhere.
It was just, he had his hands in his head like somebody had died, and it was supposed to be a joyous, beautiful, and it was amazing. So Costner just really knocked it out of the park. I didn't know what he was going to do. I was like, what's Kevin Costner doing here? But he went into full Field of Dreams mode. It was amazing. And then you fast forward to Sunday's game, which I don't think that could have been written any better. Like, that is a Hollywood ending script. Like, it could, first of all, it goes into extra. First of all,
we're losing.
And Corey Seager, who's been the best Dodger this year, he's been our MVP, hits the game-tying home run after Kenley blows the lead, which, Kenley's been known to do.
He hit the game-tying triple. And then Kenley gave it up.
And then he hit the game tying homer,
Yeah.
which was so incredible. I wasn't at that game, but I was at home. We were going crazy at home. And then, just my son called it too. It was hilarious because Culberson comes up and my son's like, Charlie's going to hit one out. I'm like, dude, Charlie doesn't hit home runs.
It was the first home run he's hit since like 2012.
And literally the next pitch, bam. And it was no doubt about it. It was so incredible. And I mean, what was the other thing that happened that was weird?
Not that they were all nodding to Vin as they all came up.
Well, that was cool, but no, the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. I mean, we'll talk about this more during the Rams portion of the show, but the Rams went into a lightning delay at the 2-minute warning, and that's exactly when all this happened.
Yeah.
So we like to talk about the baseball gods and the MMA gods. Now, the baseball gods are generous gods.
Yes.
While the MMA gods are very smiteful. So I'm very concerned about this UFC 205 card.
Yeah.
The MMA gods are going to ruin it. They're like, oh, you have something nice? No.
Yeah.
But the baseball gods, they came down with furious anger in Tampa, and they lightning storm and all this shit. They're like, okay, everybody tune into Los Angeles because we're going into extras, and this is Vin's moment. So all of that delay of game, that's those 68, 69 minutes of game delay were the Dodgers clinching the West for Vin Scully.
It was from Seager to Culberson to him hitting home plate, and then all of a sudden the game's back. And I was switching back and forth a little bit. I was mostly on Vin, obviously, and we had our radio on too. So when I switched back to the Rams, I could still hear Vin on the radio, or still hear Charlie and Rick on the radio. But here's the other great thing too, is that you bring up the baseball gods, and I guess we can't have the show without talking a little bit about Jose Fernandez too, because that was a tragedy.
Yeah, I woke up to that. That sucked.
It was terrible. But what was beautiful was D. Gordon's home run, which by the way was upper fucking deck at Marlins Park, which he doesn't even hit home runs barely over the fence.
Right.
And he hits one.
Remember, he was juicing. That's why we questioned why he was suddenly hitting those home runs.
Here's why I'm glad he was juicing right here. Because he hits the most emotional home run, one of them I've ever seen. I mean, he circled the bases crying. He gets back in the dugout. He had to go into the clubhouse crying. So in the span of 4 days, baseball's emotional, it couldn't be better for baseball. The level, I mean, worse and better. I mean, we go through these highs and lows. But, I mean, with this Dodger thing and then the low of Jose Fernandez, which was horrendous, and then
Arnold
the high
Palmer.
of D. Gordon.
Arnold Palmer passed away, too.
And then that was happening, too. It was an emotional weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I don't think I could take another weekend like this. It was pretty...
Until next weekend?
Until next weekend, when playoffs start. But seriously, it was so emotional. It was so amazing. And I think this send-off for Vin was about the best I could ask for as a fan. It was pretty incredible. It was pretty great. And I don't know if San Francisco is a little bit of a letdown, but I'm going to listen to every single one of the games.
Full circle. God damn it, I forget his name. The announcer for the San Francisco Giants?
Miller, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Miller.
Bill Miller. Bill Miller? Miller, yeah. Anyway, Miller.
Whatever. He's the announcer for the Giants.
He's good.
He's a really good announcer, too. Yeah. And he does a really great impersonation of Vin Scully in Japanese.
Oh,
yeah.
He does.
I've seen little tidbit stories of Miller and how whenever Vin comes out, they're really good friends, and they're both broadcasters in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And he emulates the way Vin does it to imitate Vin, not for his broadcast, but just to screw around with fans. And then he always tells these stories of this Japanese announcer who emulated Vin. So he's like he even does the imitation of the Japanese guy in Japanese, speaking like Vin Scully, and you're like, what?
That's pretty cool. Now, as much as we hate the Giants, I will say this. I will give them this. Dodgers fans, you got to give it to them.
They better be respectful, goddammit.
No, they will be. It's going to be great. But here's the other thing they're doing that's really cool. They're going to have one inning of the Giants game is going to be Vin.
Well, that's what ESPN did. The fourth inning, it was a national broadcast that ESPN was doing. The fourth inning of the ESPN game, they brought in Vin's broadcast.
Yeah, but this is the Giants bringing in the broadcast.
Yeah, but look, guys, listen. As much as we like to say that we hate the San Francisco Giants, we hate the San Francisco Giants as an entity. Okay, that combination of orange and black is disgusting.
Because I love the city of San Francisco.
But I hate the city of San Francisco. It's such a shithole.
I love it.
But the thing that brings people together is baseball. So even though there is that rivalry, we respect each other as human beings. We respect each other as athletes.
We should.
And a lot of the shit that we say on the show, please understand that we're being like just sarcastic, facetious dicks on the internet.
Yeah.
Right? I would never just see someone on the street and openly say, fuck you, because you're wearing a Giants jersey or something. That's so dumb. Or to commit violence against somebody.
Exactly.
That's dumb. So I think that, I hope that the Giants fans and the broadcasting, what they're doing, show some level of respect for what Vin is doing, what Vin's done. And people of San Francisco, if you don't have kids, borrow one or do something, but you better bring some goddamn cute babies to that stadium
because he's going to talk about them.
Vince is going to talk about them. Vin is going to talk about them, and goddamn it, they better be cute because the kids that we bring to Dodger Stadium are adorable babies.
They know where every single one of those cute kids are.
Yeah, our camera guys look for those kids. Here's what the camera guys at Dodger Stadium do. They're called the honey shot in sports, right? Mm-hmm. Where the sports producers will look for smoking hot chicks in the crowd that we can cut to. Not at Dodger Stadium.
Don't do that.
We look for the adorable kids because Vin is going to talk about them.
And he does.
San Francisco, the bar's been set. You motherfuckers better bring some adorable babies.
They will. I think they will.
But they're going to be like in pumpkins or in seals.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, let's talk Rams.
Ram it.
Let's talk Rams.
Guys, the Rams are in first place. Did you think 3 weeks into the season I would be saying that the Rams are in first place?
Not after the exhibition.
I did.
You did.
Bold prediction, Rams win 10 games. Still on track.
Okay, well, we play the Cardinals, although the Cardinals got their asses beat.
Cardinals are 1-2 now?
They're 1-2, right? I think they are.
They gave up 210 yards on the ground. So this coming Sunday, Todd Gurley is going to run wild on them.
This is our chance.
Yeah.
We could be 3-1.
We're going to gain some momentum. Look, we got, who do we got? We got the Giants. We have nobody until we play the Panthers in like week 7. The Panthers may destroy us, but between now and week 7, we legit can go on like a 5-game winning streak.
You're such a homer. All right. So
that's the purpose of the show.
That is the purpose of the show.
Hello, it's the best co-show, not
Ram it.
Hashtag ram it.
My son and I were doing that on Sunday. We were like, ram it.
Hell yeah. We're working on the game Sunday. Anytime the Rams did anything, ram it. And then we'd high five.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So I didn't know this, but there's Jack in the Box is doing Jumbo Jacks.
Jack in the Box does promos. Guys, you know how you score 100 points at the Laker games and everyone starts chanting, "We want tacos." Well, basically because the Lakers were so fucking terrible the last few years.
We didn't get a lot of tacos.
We didn't get a lot of tacos, but that was always one of the promos. So a lot of times during the timeouts, Kobe Bryant would be like, "All right, guys, everybody get in. We're going to lose this game, but we at least have to score 100 points to get the crowd some tacos."
Yeah.
That's what Kobe was doing.
We were bummed.
Yeah, because we were bummed. And being bummed about the Rams not scoring any touchdowns, Jack in the Box was like, okay, how can we do something? If the Rams score 2 or more touchdowns, we will give away Jumbo Jacks that Monday with the purchase of a large drink. And they fucking did. You know what, though? I think they did it because they didn't think we would score 2 touchdowns.
No.
Yeah, we scored 5?
Yeah. Well, one of them was defensive.
Yeah, okay, so what's his face? Case Keenum threw 3 touchdowns, 2 to the Rams, 1 to the Bucks. And then Todd Gurley ran for 2 touchdowns. And then we had a fumble recovery for a 77-yard touchdown.
Beautiful.
That was awesome. Beautiful. I love it when the fat linemen offensive or defenseman pick up the ball. I'm just like, run, fatty, run. And he's like dying.
He was chugging.
It's hilarious.
So Keenum looked a little better in this game. Again, the offensive line is a little suspect.
14 for 26.
It's kind of mediocre. It's not terrible. We gotta not have turnovers on this team. That we are gonna lose games if we
had 2 turnovers, and both turnovers immediately led to Bucks
scores.
Points.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one of those turnovers, I don't think. Well, I mean, obviously
the fumble and the pick six.
The pick six was obviously Keenum's fault, but the fumble, I don't know. That one's a tough one. But,
ball's in your hand.
Yeah, ball's
Go down
in your
with
hand.
it.
Gotta hold that. But Todd Gurley, this guy is got to fight for every single yard he gets right now.
Yeah,
he got better in this game.
In the first half, he was averaging 2.5 yards a carry, and in the second half, it literally doubled. It jumped to 4 point something, 4.5.
Their defense went into we're not playing anymore mode.
Well, that and the offensive line was pushing, and I think that's the problem. I mean, going up against the Cardinals next week, they have an atrocious run defense. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the offensive line could do something, but because it is what it is, the Cardinals are going to be like, let's stack 10 in the box.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that if they stack 10 in the box, Keenum can do something with his arm. Tavon Austin found himself open. He had 2 touchdowns, and that really, 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 really stupid play at the end of the game where it's like, bro, why would you catch the ball inside the 5? Just let it go into the end zone. Get it at the 25.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
That was bad.
At that point, I was like, oh, fuck, we're going to have to
and
punt.
they almost blew the
Yeah,
game
they almost
because
blew the
of
game.
that.
If it wasn't for Jameis Winston being a moron and not having like presence of where the line of scrimmage was, they would have won that game.
Well, he thought he was going to run, and then he got too far, and then he didn't know that behind him.
I'm surprised there was no penalty on that because that tackle was pretty high.
It was high, but I don't think he was trying to hurt. He just wanted to make sure that he covered him up, and I think it was good.
Yeah,
Again,
we got lucky. Look, they missed the field goal. They missed an extra point. They missed a 2-point conversion.
I'll take
we
luck.
win 37-32.
I'll take luck.
But they did cut down on the penalties. They had 8 penalties instead of 10, but we also turned the ball over twice instead of 0.
2 turnovers isn't horrendous. But
yeah, it is when it turns into points immediately.
And that's the problem. If it turns into points, 2 turnovers could be fine if they don't turn into points.
Right.
But this time they did against a bad team. You have 2 turnovers
the
against
Cardinals,
a good team.
The Cardinals had 5 turnovers last week, and Carson Palmer threw 4 interceptions. They had 3 fumbles, 1 was lost. That is great news for our defense. Our defense has been very good, but for whatever reason, the secondary got torched on Sunday. They gave up 408 yards.
Our cornerbacks, our safeties are not playing well.
No.
And we need to play well against the Cardinals because they have great receivers. So this is going to be
a great receiver.
Well, but I mean, they
Carson Palmer is not the Carson Palmer of USC or with the Bengals. Carson Palmer is getting old and it's showing.
Okay, well, so maybe we have a
the
little bit.
D-line needs to pressure him because he's not a quarterback that's going to throw on the run.
No, he's
can't not Carson Wentz.
He cannot get out of the pocket. Well, let's have our random RAM update, which is actually a non-RAM this time.
Guys,
I'm just saying.
We
normally we're going to do a random RAM.
Every week as we get to know the Rams, we do the random RAM segment like we do every week. This week we are doing what would have been a random RAM. Oh, you know who he is? He's our CP3. He kind of came to the Lakers, but then kind of didn't.
Yeah.
So we had the opportunity to get Wentz, but we kind of didn't. And for those of you who don't know, Carson Wentz was drafted number 2 overall by the Philadelphia Eagles. He's 3-0. He has over 750 passing yards in 3 games. This guy can throw on the run. This guy was a 4.0 GPA honor graduate at North Dakota State. Led them to their 5th straight FBS championship. Doesn't really.
Where is North Dakota?
In North Dakota. North Dakota, somewhere on the east. I don't know.
No, I think it's
where
Midwest.
Dakota. Dakota's like in the Midwest, like towards Canada.
It's up high.
Who has Mount Rushmore? South Dakota has Rushmore, right?
So yeah.
Okay, so it's not the Mount Rushmore state. Yeah, but this guy had 5 NCAA FCS national. He had 5 national champions at the FCS level. That means he knows how to win. This guy is 23 years old. He's born December 30th, 1982, so he's a little kid. And he's a big guy. He's 6'5".
Yeah.
230 pounds.
He looks like the best quarterback in the NFL right now, outside of Cam Newton. I mean, maybe outside of Brady. Okay, we'll give Brady.
Well, Tom Brady's not technically in the NFL.
Well,
he
will be. He will be. He'll be back. This guy's pretty amazing. Again,
and then we're gonna have this comparison for the next 3 to 5 years.
We will.
And what you're about to say is it the system?
And I think it is.
You think it's?
I think Wentz would have been sitting on the bench for the Rams too. I think Jeff Fisher doesn't want to play. He does not want to play young kids. He wants to make sure they get.
And again, we've talked about this. He doesn't develop quarterbacks.
And he doesn't develop quarterbacks.
He does not develop quarterbacks.
So we're gonna have a Carson Wentz, Jared Goff showdown for, like you said, a couple years. We'll see what happens. All right, what's our gift of the day?
Guys, our gift of the day, this is the bottom of the 10th inning. Culberson comes up, hits his first home run in how many years?
I think
3
a year
years?
for sure. A year for sure.
Yeah, I think it was 2012, 2013 since he hit his last home run. But who fucking cares? He hits the home run. It goes into the stands. Hollywood ending for Vin Scully at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers clinched the NL West on their own merit because they won the game and they weren't relying on the San Diego Padres to do anything because no one can rely on the San Diego Padres. The San Diego Padres are actually that team in the new TV show called Pitch on Fox.
I won't.
It follows the Padres. The girl plays on the Padres.
I won't watch that.
Because that girl wouldn't play on the Dodgers because we have Clayton Kershaw.
Okay.
That's true.
All right.
Anyways, but that is our gift of the day. That's been our show, guys. Don't forget to stalk us on Twitter at Best Coast Show. Don't forget to tune in to KTLA because KTLA is going to be broadcasting the last 6 games of Vin's career. So if you don't have Time Warner Cable or what the fuck is it called now? Spectrum garbage cable. You can tune in to KTLA. It's a local channel, and they're going to be showing you guys the Vin Scully games, the last 6 games of his career. Again, San Francisco, you motherfuckers, bring cute babies to the stadium. And, you guys can stalk us on Twitter at Best Coast Show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and various other podcast outlets.
Yes.
Yeah, that's been our show, though, and you guys have a good night.